Welcome. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is a video of Game of Thrones. Ergo, spoilers will be in here, so keep that in mind. Anyways, let's keep going. On what Game of Thrones religion is right. Now, this is just my own opinion, based on evidence that I myself have seen. If you don't agree, post your opinion in the comments, any corrections you want to make, any stuff like that. Alright, so let's move on. The many-faced God. His followers believe death is a mercy and that there is only one God which has many faces and names. Stranger, the Black Lion. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. And it's worshipped primarily in Bravos, with some notable followers / priests being the faithful. The Seven. Now this is the one that we know the closest to the most about. Their main belief is that there's one God with 7 faces. The Father, the Mother, the Warrior, the Maid, the Smith, the Crone, and the Stranger, who go under different things, who symbolize different things. It's mostly worshipped in the southern regions of Westeros, with some spattering in the north, like White Harbor, for example. And it was brought to Westeros by the Andals. Its clergy consists mainly of the Septons, Septas, Silent Sisters, and I think the Sparrows would be considered priests. I'm not 100% sure. It has 2 groups of faith militants. The Warrior Sons, the Swords, who get their name by having that as their emblem, and the Poor Fellows, the Stars, who have the stars as an emblem. Great job naming them, small folk! Anyways, onward. The Old Gods, the innumerable gods of nature, mostly worshipped in the north and beyond the wall, and some in the Mountain of the Moons and the Blackwoods of Raventree and the Riverlands also keep the old gods. They were originally worshipped by the children of the forest and the giants, then picked up by the first men when they came over. They have no clergy, however there are sometimes those who seem closer to the gods, for example, green seers and such. Human sacrifice is not unheard of. Yeah. The Drowned God. It's believed in this religion that there are 2 gods. The Drowned God, who helps the people of the Iron Islands, and the Storm God, who doesn't. It's a good God and bad God. Almost exclusively they are worshipped on the Iron Islands, or at least by the people from there, like Theon, Asha. If you have no idea who she is, read the books. And the clergy consists of drowned men, who wander the island and preach of the drowned god, doing ceremonies in the occasional king's moot. Don't know what that is. Basically, Iron Islands, the kings and captains picking who's going to be their high king, for lack of a better word. Yeah, read the books and it'll explain it more. R'hllor. The faith consists of 2 deities, again. R'hllor, the Lord of Light, Fire, Shadows, etc., who helps his followers, and the Other, a god of darkness and cold who's hated humanity and is so terrible that you should never say his name. Worshipped throughout Essos, but originated in Asai? One of those 2. It has only recently gained a footing in Westeros, on Dragonstone, and the Brotherhood without banners. The clergy consists of red priests, as well as some who wear less red, things like oranges and yellows, but mostly red priests who perform ceremonies and preach of their god R'hllor. And they possess a faith militant, at least in Volantis, called the Fiery Hand, which always has 1,000 members. If one dies, the one is brought up to join. If 2 die, it's the same, but with 2. The gods of gifts. We don't actually know much about them. Like, we spend a whole book in Gis with very, very little that we know about them. But we do know some things involving their clergy, and that 33 is a sacred number to them. Kind of like the 7 have the 7, so they might have 33 gods. Yeah. Mostly worshipped in Slaver's Bay. Their clergy consists of graces, each which serve a different purpose. The ones we know now are the green grace, the high priestess of the city, the blue graces, who are healers, the red graces, who are called prostitutes, and the white graces, young girls of noble birth who are too young to be red graces. I'm guessing from that. The drowned god Relor. You probably have never heard of him, because I just came up with the title when coming up with the idea for this video. It is the personal belief of Victorian Greyjoy, after a red priest named Makuru saved his arm when a maester couldn't. He then had said maester drowned. He believes in both the drowned god of the Iron Isles and Relor. Makuru is very against this joining of the religion, seeing the drowned god as a demon in service to the other, though. So yeah. And probably Victorian's brother probably would also be against the joining of the religions. But are you going to be the one to tell Victorian? Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Probably won't end up good for you. Now, here are the miracles of the various gods. Just so you know, I'm not even considering the mini-faith god, because no matter which god I pick, people are going to end up tracing it back to him, because he's every death god. So anyways, the faceless man's face swap, which can be done by blood magic, probably. Right? So probably not him. Miracles of the Faith of the 7. Well, no miracles that we know of that are actually confirmed real, besides the weird coincidences with 7s throughout the whole series. But beyond that, no. So, bye-bye. The miracle of the old gods, the green dreams. Everyone else has future visions too, so doesn't really mean much. Besides, they do it while they're sleeping instead of anything else. So. Besides going in the water or looking to fire. So, yeah. Green seers, they're basically an extension of warging, which seems not to be a very delicate thing. So, yeah. Maybe we don't really have any evidence showing that these green dreams aren't actually sent by the old gods, and there are weird things with the green seer thing, so maybe. The miracles of the drowned god, bringing people back to life through mouth to mouth, which any lifeguard at a pool could do. So yeah, probably not. The miracles of the gods' gifts. Again, we don't really know anything about them, really, so maybe. Like that. Don't know anything, we have nothing. The miracles of the drowned god Relor, fixing Victorian's hand, which is probably involving blood magic. Yeah. So, the reason, you'll see in a second why, maybe. And Relor, having fire do weird things. In Melisandre's point of view chapter, she admits that she uses alchemist tricks. So, at least some of those things are fake. Though she does mention that her magic is better, which brings me to strong winds, which are probably because of blood magic. What about Lightbringer? Well, have you heard of Glamour? And finally, near perfect resurrection. Well, let's see. Dunderon dies, and Theros of Myr brings him back to life. He dies again. And again he's brought back. Dead! Alive! Dead! alive, dead, alive, dead, and alive. So, that I cannot explain. Now, sure, someone might be like, blood magic, except blood magic has that where you pay life for life. Who's dying every time that Mr. Dunderon comes back? Like, and this isn't like when the drowned priests are bringing people back. This is severe injuries, like being stabbed through the eye, having your entire skull caved in, being cut almost in half, hanged for a long period of time. And then Sir Dunderon brings back Stoneheart, and she was drowned and dead for several days before coming back to life. Even modern science can't do that. And again, no one was dying when this was happening. So, Lore. Because no other god has given us perfect resurrection. Blood magic gave a facsimile of not being dead to Drogo, but even then he wasn't nearly alive. He was just not dead. Whereas Sir Dunderon, he's Beric, that's his name. Sir Beric Dunderon, he's fighting, clashing, knighting people, until he gives up being alive. So, yeah. Yes, he's smallly being degraded, but as a child of the Forest said, fire consumes. So, yeah. R'hllor. The faith of R'hllor might be the only real faith. An even better example of how this is true is Theros wasn't actually trying to resurrect him. He was just going through the motions of, okay, he's done them a million times before, and it brought Theros back to life. Why? It is Theros, basically, okay, you're a priest, technically, but we're sending you somewhere that we don't expect you to actually succeed. So, go, true. Why was he able to call upon R'hllor instead of Melisandre? Simple. Why was Beric able to have an actual flaming sword? Because he was, more of a chosen one. He was good. Pure-ish. They don't fight for, honor, glory, gold, being the gods, chosen one. They fight because they're protecting people. That is why I think the only person who shows any true connection to any true god is Theros of Myr to R'hllor. So that's all for now. See ya.